And Lamar can build that tool.
Yeah, my question is for Pastor Norman
Yeah.
and anybody else in the panel. You mentioned something about networking and working with people at your church. Is that something that we can do with all churches? And I'm saying that because it's a lot of business owners in churches, and every week y'all meet, and y'all can pretty much meet like all week because I would know a nonprofit is a church is a nonprofit organization, so why not like teach throughout the week? Because one, parents need a place to bring their kids to learn. Two, why not educate them and help them grow? I mean, you're growing them spiritually. Let's grow them financially, and then like work it all the way down with all these families that are broken. With them being broken, like let them list what they're broken in, and then now bring people in to these churches to teach them. And we have programs out there that we'll love to just like partner with any churches. But my thing is, will churches be open to that? And if not, why wouldn't they be? And because, I mean, that's where it's at. It's like we know that if we can start fixing families in churches, that can be something major. And then every day we're fixing them, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then on Sunday spiritually.
So oftentimes people will say Memphis is the city with a church on every corner. I pastor one of them. All right, all of the corners I don't do anything with them. And I often answer questions like that by singing a song by Luther Vandross that starts off saying, I can only speak for the things that I've been through. Because really, when you start talking about the faith community, you're talking about this idea that everybody thinks alike and everybody operates the same. So in the church where I'm privileged to serve as a senior servant leader, I created a different model. One of the things that I see is, first of all, the church is an economic engine. That's why we do some of the things that we do. We chose to stay in the community that we were in. I'm looking at a young man who's sitting in front of me right now. He was a kid when I got there, but I supported him through college and used to take him to dinner because I stayed connected to those kids because I wanted them to come back to our community and not just be contributors in the sense of putting something in the offering plate, but being contributors with the skills that they've learned and being models for other young men to know that you too can go to college and you will have dinner with your pastor four or five times a year for the next 4 or 5 years. Because I used to travel and go see them to get them to come back. And the whole idea that we try to get all churches on board. I was just telling Barbara before this meeting began, my thesis was shaped around, my doctoral thesis was shaped around the power of the urban church that remains in the inner city. Quite often what happens to us is that we start prospering, and the prosperity movement wiped out a lot of our churches because they start growing up thinking, hey, we're supposed to have Cadillacs and everybody's supposed to have a Bentley and move out of the community, right? What we were supposed to do was take that wealth and reinvest it in the community and distribute it among the people who are in the community that can't get out. There are some old ladies who put $5 in the offering plate for 25, 30, 40, 50 years. They can't move. And so what we need to do is make sure that their communities are safe. We need to make sure that there's a roof on their house and they have low utility bills because their house was built post 1950 and the windows and the walls are very thin and the air conditioning bill is very high in the summer. And so we do those things to make sure that we partner and collaborate. Christ Community Clinic is in our community because we gave them the land because we had sick people all around us, and we said, look, come and take care of the sick, be right here among them. There are jobs initiatives. We have the lowest cost summer camp in the city of Memphis, where you see people charging $150, $200 a summer. We charge $45, and that's just to offset the fee. Because and if you have more than one child, all we charge you is $5 for every other child, because we know there are a lot of households that have 2 or 3 kids. Why do we do that? We don't want little girls to get pregnant. We want to make sure the little boys stay off the street. We want to teach them skills. We do summer bridge camp. That's what we do, because we recognize kids lose 1 to 2 grades over the summer in their reading and math skills. And so we center it around the needs of people. We looked at the demographics of 38112. We looked at the demographics that expand around our demographics, and we said, let's address these needs. Now, my motto is published in a thesis at Memphis Theological Seminary. Go get a copy, distributed to every pastor in the city of Memphis. But most of the times what we're concerned about is competing for membership. And we don't want to do the work of making sure that, I tell people we're saving Johnny's soul, but what are we saving it for? Okay, if Johnny can't get a job, if Johnny doesn't have any food at the house, what the hell are we saving Johnny for? We might as well let him go to hell. We living in it, right? But I don't believe that in the sense of the spiritual hereafter. But the point I'm making is that we're saving him, but saving him for what? Right. We have to make sure that there's something for him to go into. And oftentimes, what happens in our faith communities is that we don't weigh in enough. We have a lot of people that we speak to on Sunday morning throughout the course of the week. I was working with people tonight before I left to come to this particular event. We don't do 3 o'clock programs at our church. We don't do a whole lot of spiritual stuff. I haven't had revival in 5 years, 10 years, For what? Because, you go to church on Sunday to hear somebody preach, right? Or you can go to where Neil is at the workforce place where he is.
He get it.
The point that I make is the stuff that we ought to be doing Monday through Saturday is the stuff that we talked about on Sunday. And so it is not until we create that model in our churches and we follow up and follow through and you see our hands in the communities. Because I tell people, don't nobody want to hear what you have to say in the pulpit on Sunday if they have not seen you active in their life throughout the course of the week. And so we have to earn that right to be heard. We have to participate. Burnell, I'm surprised he didn't ask me a question about the economic. This Thursday, okay? At First Baptist Church, guess what we're going to be doing? We got all the black business owners coming in to engage in a conversation with the city leaders, the city council, and the mayor, because we have to close that gap.